This is the next block of BitsAtom Technologies. We are going to talk about a couple of concepts today, and one of the real use case where we want to deploy a Rails application in AWS with Capistrano and Puma stack. We figured out that people are facing a lot of problem, like the process is not reproducible. So we try to make it and created few Rails generators that would do the job on a single click and within like 30 minutes, or actually if you cut down the launching time and installation time on Ruby in the server, it will bring down the time to 15 minutes in order to ramp up the server. So let us get started. Let us start with creating an EC2 instance and we'll show the magic. All right, here we'll just first launch one server here. We'll just call it as demo, and we'll just take a Ubuntu machine for the sake of yeah. So that's where the size is here. Okay, yeah. We'll just take a medium one so that it can execute the operations a little faster. I'll bring down, so I'll go for large this time. We'll select a key value pair, and then we'll just go ahead and select one launch wizard one. This is having to port 22, 443 and 80 permissions as a security group, and I'll just create instance, and then we'll just go to that instance. While we are waiting, let me explain what we are going to do. We'll just hit a couple of commands that I'll paste as a description of this video. So let's see if the server is up and running. Yes, it is up and running. We'll just use the web console. It is pretty convenient, thanks to AWS for that. And while the connection is getting established, let us copy our first command. This is to upgrade and make our Ubuntu machine up to date. So here we are going to update all the tasks. It takes a little bit time, and it is done. So now we'll take another command that will to create a deploy user. It is a best practice not to use Ubuntu user, so we are trying to use that best practice here. We'll set a password. This password will help us to install Ruby, that we'll see later on. Typing the password again so that I'm not mistyping here, and then making this deploy user sudo. The reason for making the user sudo is deploy user we are going to use to maintain couple of installable from local, so we need not to enter the password when we are using the sudo command. Now we'll just put it here in down here. So we'll just paste it and come out of it. Now we'll get into that user again, because the user is now sudo using the same password. Then acquiring the shell access. Then again in this screen we are going to start generating the keys. And what we are going to do, let me explain. We are going to set this keys in the deploys keys section in GitHub, so that our descriptor is talking to GitHub properly. So I'm doing off the screen right now, but should be fast enough. The key is there. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to set my local keys also as recommended in here and paste it. And for the sake of security, I'm going to cut this. Let's see what's the next step that we need to follow. The next step in our command is to install the Postgres locally. This is another step a lot of time we need not to, because we are using the um, Postgres from RDS, but this time we are just using the local DB. For instance, you want to create some application for your own demo purpose or from R&D purpose, then creating another separate database does not make a lot of sense. I'm creating one user that is of BitsAtom emailer. You can use your own. Then again, I'm going into this and setting up the password for BitsAtom emailer user. Again, this is a simple password I'm taking for demo purpose, root, and coming out of it, and then creating a database. So just to make sure that database is created, you can easily see the database is created here, coming out of this screen and going to set install RVM. For that, I'll have to add some keys in the machine. So I have added it here and just source it so that I get access to the RVM. So yeah, sorry, one step left. We'll have to install RVM, and it is installed. Now I'm going to take RVM access. Now I'm going to install Ruby 3.2.2, and this takes time, so I'll be silent and we'll cut this. All right, this is installed. Now let us see what is our next command to make this RVM and Ruby version global. So we could use that. It is asking for us to log in with bash, and then again we are doing it, and then we'll just use it. All right, now next part is to create some home directories. We'll just remember this name, it will be helpful, and I'll show you why. We are creating some of the default directories. I'll paste all the commands in the description of the video, so no need to worry. I am just now taking all the content of the database.yml and pasting. I have chosen the root password as I told you, and that's it. Now the next step is to use the BitsAtom provided and created gem that will enable the process so smooth, and I'll show how. So all you need to do, no other installation in your plain project. You'll just need to install the gem. Gem is yet to be published. I have these generators locally, but I'll explain you one by one. So let us see first that in action. So let us go back and install it. Yes, it is for production, and the IP address of the machine it is asking. So what I'm going to do, I will let's see. Yep, I'll just copy this and paste it here, and then I'll say my user is not Ubuntu, it is deploy, and actually the password is default to BitsAtom emailer, and boom. So let's see what it is going to do. It'll create a couple of commands. Then it is asking that it is asking to create the Capistrano installation. So I'll say yes. It'll create everything. You need not to worry or remember any gem. Yes, the Capistrano created some default production file. We are overriding with our template here, and that's it. The next command that you need to do is to start with one command, that is once cap production deploy, and let's see. So connectivity is done. Now it is going to install Nginx and many other installations and the requirements. So I'll cut some video because it is going to take time. If you see down here, bundle install is going on. Just to make sure that you understand that we haven't done anything in the server other than installing the Postgres and Ruby, and that's it. everything is being done with our gem that we are going to release soon with couple of generators. So if you remember, we just created one setup command and run the Capistrano, and your application is up and live. So we'll wait a couple of more minutes. With a row of two consecutive run, we have run mode once, cap production deploy, and it ran the server. It did everything what it needed to do, and then the interesting part is if you see the same IP that I showed you, the application is up and live. So this is what we wanted to achieve with that um, gem that we have created, and let me explain you how this is working so that you're clear what we are trying to achieve and what magic is going in the back. We have created couple of generators if you see here, um, and these generators are nothing but setting up your all the uh, template files like Puma, and Nginx and all. Once you generate them, it goes to deployment directory that actually gets all configured here. And one magic rig task that we achieved is generated that you can see here, and does all the upload and setup part. Your deploy file, that is very sleek now. It does not have a lot of things and does all the purpose. So the gem that is going to be out will be posting very soon. And for now, this video, if it does help, please like the video and subscribe us. Thank you so much.